News reporting and journalism have been a part of our history for thousands of years, dating back to ancient Rome with their Acta Diurna. The sacred duty of informing the world of important events has been essential to our society ever since. From Paul Revere's famous midnight ride warning America that the British were coming, to the news that Germany had surrendered to the Allied forces, to the whole world witnessing a catastrophic event live on television. It has always been the utmost importance for news reporters and journalists to give an unbiased, completely factual message about whatever important event is taking place.
So why are they also known by the name PlayStation Pornable?
It's also redefining how vulnerable your kids are to child molesters.
In my opinion, parents should not let their kids have anything whatsoever to do with Pokemon because the message is violence.
This is entertainment?
Yeah, if only it were that simple. I don't think it's shocking to say that while news reports and articles can be used to show the truth about an event, more often than not, it's used to platform a bunch of morons who just want to spout absolute nonsense to a bunch of other lead-poisoned morons who always believe everything they see on their magic video box. This has led to some of the most ridiculous, embarrassing, and factually incorrect media pieces in the history of our civilization, especially when it comes to video games. Video games and controversy these days go together like Microsoft and mass layoffs, especially when it comes to the topics games like Grand Theft Auto cover alone. Because of this, news media outlets have created some of the worst yet funniest news pieces ever made in the last 40 years.
And today, we're going to look at as many of them as I possibly can. No joke, these news reports have provided me with some of the biggest laughs I've ever had with pieces of media in a long while. I love them despite how awful they are, like The Room and Samurai Cop. So welcome, everybody, to the idiotic world of video game news reports.
So let's start off light with this ABC 2020 news report from 1988 about the launch of the American version of Super Mario Bros. 2. And judging by this line, something tells me it's incredibly popular.
You came 1,000 miles just for this game?
Yes. I've done 7 stores a day for 3 weeks now, and I cannot find it.
Yeah, just in case anybody wants to claim those Nintendo Switch 2 sales aren't real, just remember that people were waiting in lines for hours for a copy of Mario Bros. 2. You know, the Mario game about throwing radishes at birds? The black sheep of the Mario series? Yeah, people have loved Nintendo games for 40 years. Why would they stop now?
School bus drivers report the kids are talking less about clothes and sports and what Joe did to Jane.
Whoa! What do you mean, what Joe did to Jane? You can't just leave us on a cliffhanger like that. What did Joe do to Jane?
Anyway, the report then goes on to explain what video games are and why kids are into them, before we discuss just how successful Nintendo games truly were back in the day.
How big a hit is this?
This is as big or bigger than anything the toy industry has ever seen. I'll give you one comparison. Barbie, which is an institution, does about $500 million a year. Nintendo does over 3 times as much.
Yeah, suck it, Barbie fans! What, your Barbie movie had an Oscar-winning Billie Eilish song in it? Pfft, well, the Super Mario Bros. Movie made over $1 billion at the box office. Wait, what do you mean the Barbie movie made more money?
The kids delight in finding new twists to the games, secret passages they didn't discover the first times they played, bizarre new weapons. You're throwing things that I've never even discovered in this game.
Yeah, because you don't know. If you're a grown-up, you hardly do this. If you're a grown-up, you have work to do.
Damn, kid! You didn't need to go that hard on him. I'll tell you what, this kid is a rap artist in the making. Where's the diss track? Okay, so after that, the news report becomes pretty typical stuff with discussing the success in both America and Japan, talking about the gamer helplines Nintendo of America hosted back in the day, before we finally reach this point.
All this brings us to a final question. Should parents buy these games at all? The National Coalition Against Television Violence thinks they shouldn't, because they say they're bad for kids.
Ah, yes, the biggest concern that gets brought up in any parent's mind whenever a new piece of entertainment comes out. Is it safe for your kids? Well, you know what? I think John Stossel said it best.
And you don't mind the so-called violence in it? Kill ducks, kill ducks?
They're animated characters, and I just think you have to pay attention and limit the time, and it's fine.
Now I know how you're spending the holidays, watching
right.
Nintendo.
Playing Nintendo.
Playing Nintendo. Good job.
See? Very well put. And this was back when video games were truly starting to blow up. So surely that means that parents will actually look after their child and make sure that they are aware of what they're doing and what entertainment they're consuming. Surely.
So let's jump ahead 5 years with this news report on Mortal Kombat from 1993. Yeah, as I mentioned in my Mortal Kombat video, there was a time when that game ruled the world. So I'm eager to see what the news has to say about it then.
One of the most controversial games is this one you're looking at right now. It's called Mortal Kombat. It's a game by Sega.
Ah yes, the famous Sega franchise next to Sonic the Hedgehog and Alex Kidd. Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's weird. That reporter just got a critical detail about the game wrong. I hope this isn't a common occurrence.
So this news report goes on to show an arcade owner who chose to remove the gore and fatalities from the game. Now look, I may not be that much of a fan of Mortal Kombat, but that might be one of the dumbest decisions an arcade could make at the time. Oh, what's that? This game is the talk of the town because of its gore and it's incredibly profitable? Let's remove it! And that's all there was to this video I found, but all I have to say to this arcade is, don't be surprised when your sales plummet. So now let's jump ahead 6 years to the first ever Pokemon craze here in America. Seriously, I don't think most people these days even realize how big Pokemon was back in the 90s. Just listen to what this news report says.
The upcoming Pokemon the First movie recently caused such a frenzy that the switchboard at Warner Brothers was flooded with 70,000 calls a minute from people desperate for tickets.
That's 4.2 million calls an hour, by the way. It was the biggest thing that had ever existed for a while, and it kinda still is. And yet despite that, some people weren't exactly fans of this Pokemon craze.
But some experts say the entire Pokemon phenomenon is the enemy.
I'm sorry, who are your experts? What, this guy?
And she's described as Ash's companion, and listen what it says about her. She's headstrong and stubborn, constantly arguing with Ash. Typical woman.
In my opinion, parents should not let their kids watch Pokemon, play Pokemon, buy Pokemon cards, have anything whatsoever to do with Pokemon, because the message is violence.
You know, lady, I don't know you personally. I don't want to make any unfair judgments about you. But I will say, don't be surprised if your kids never talk to you again.
Many school officials think the craze has gone too far. School officials are finding that Pokemon cards are responsible for fistfights, and the constant trading is not only distracting kids from classwork, but turning the playground into a black market, where they buy and sell rare cards.
Yeah, you think that Pokemon card scalpers are a problem today? Back in the late 90s, Pokemon cards were essentially a form of currency for kids. It would be preposterous for a kid to walk up to a stranger like,
"Hey kid, I'll give you a chancey for a week's worth of your lunch money."
If you have or know a young child, then you may know that bonding moments with children these days come only when they look up from their Pokemon cards or other products. As we've established, it's the thing with the younger age set. Here to walk us through what adults should know, the self-proclaimed toy guru, Ira Gallen. He's the owner of Video Resources in New York. Ira, to you and Pikachu, a hearty good evening.
And this is going to be one of the hottest selling toys for the holidays. This is a talking Pikachu from Hasbro Toys, not even in the stores yet. It's going to be in next month.
Honestly, I love this dude. He shows up to a news report that claims that Pokemon is violent, and instead of answering all of these bullshit questions, he spends the entire time advertising more Pokemon products. This dude is a legend. I even looked up what Ira Gallen has been doing lately, and he now preserves lost or forgotten films and tapes. Ira Gallen, I salute you. You could see past the bullshit more than the people who made this news report.
Well, so far, despite some of the dumb claims made in these news reports, they've all been pretty reasonable so far. But not anymore. It all goes downhill from here. Tell me something. What news station do you know of that is infamous for pulling things out of their ass and just generally being dumb? Well, if it's not CNN, it's Fox News.
This leads me to this Fox News news report on the Nintendo DS. What do they have to say about it?
Kids can't put it down.
It has lots of graphics.
Why does he sound like he's trying to sell the console to you? I'm asking because it's working.
Kids can't put it down.
Oh yeah? Why don't you tell me something I don't know?
It has lots of graphics.
Take my card!
No wonder gaming gurus predict
Nintendo DS is going to redefine portable handheld gaming the way iPod is redefining music.
Well, stop the music, because it's also redefining how vulnerable your kids are to child molesters.
I'm sorry. How exactly is it doing that?
You see, along with the game capability, Nintendo DS comes with a feature called PictoChat.
PictoChat? PictoChat is putting your children at risk? The only danger PictoChat could bring to children is damage to their artistic capabilities. The more you watch these news reports, the more you start to notice the common theme of the reports saying that parents should be paying more attention to their children, which, like, yeah? I thought that was obvious.
And remember Marissa chatting with her friend in the other car? That means a molester driving along could see your child in the back seat and start sending messages while you're in the front seat, totally oblivious to what's happening.
Okay, my dude, you have officially jumped the shark here. Are you really telling me a molester texting your child while driving isn't gonna result in something like this instead? I don't really have much more to say about this, except that parents should be paying more attention to their children. That's like the bare minimum.
Oh, what's that? You thought that was the only dumb news piece about video games that Fox News put out? You don't have a clue who these people are.
Are the words PlayStation Portable going to end up on your kid's Christmas list? PSPs are good, clean fun, right? So why are they also known by the name PlayStation Portable?
Oh boy.
We don't want to spoil anybody's Christmas, but there are hidden dangers parents should be aware of.
We don't want to spoil anybody's Christmas, but you could be giving your children a digital Playboy magazine.
Inside is a high-powered computer that, with a Wi-Fi connection, can access the internet.
A parent can watch their child on the internet in the kitchen, in the living room. But with this, you can take it anywhere.
Have these people ever heard of laptops?
And that opens up Pandora's box.
I'm sorry. Did I say the Nintendo DS report was jumping the shark? Well, I take that back. This isn't just jumping the shark. This is shooting itself to Mars to meet the aliens!
A Minnesota boy got into trouble when he brought his PlayStation Portable to school.
This is an incident that has opened our eyes.
On a dare, Jeff Harris showed his friends how his PSP could display pictures of naked women.
Oh, I know for a fact that kid was the king of the classroom that day.
It was simple. All he did was tap onto the school's wireless internet connection.
Oh, it's incredibly easy to find.
Oh my god. Why does he say that like he knows from personal experience? You're a dirty old man, aren't you?
Also, look at this. This is a police officer playing RuneScape on the clock and not getting in trouble for it. Brilliant. But other than that, the reporters go over the same precautions about making sure you know what your kids are doing, talking to them, etc., etc.
You know, I think it's about time that we talked about one of the most unmistakably predatory and dangerous pieces of media that you could ever let your children play. Animal Crossing City Folk.
Well, tonight, police have a warning for parents about a popular gaming system and a way it's being used to put your children at risk.
Yeah, and an ABC 17 crime alert tonight. The Mid-Missouri Internet Crimes Task Force says adults are now using systems like Nintendo Wii, Xbox, PlayStation, and Webkins to talk to children inappropriately.
Look, I can understand how devices like Nintendo DS and the PSP could put a child at risk, I suppose. But how in the almighty does an Animal Crossing game do the same thing?
That's right. This is the game, and you actually create your own character, house, and even town. And when connected to the internet, you can talk to people across the country. And kids have no say as to what some of these characters say to them. For example, this character could be the man in California police are warning about tonight that asked for images from Missouri children.
Oh, sorry. I had to leave the house because that might honestly be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Are you kidding me? No, are you actually trolling me right now? Tortimer, a non-playable character in a game where you need friend codes to even play with people online, could be the man in California asking for images of children. Just when I think that Fox News can't say anything stupider than before, they always prove me wrong. That was actually kind of amazing how dumb that statement was. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say that that was Fox News past Arin? That's clearly the ABC logo. You dumbass!
I cannot come up with any legitimate reason that an adult would be playing that particular game.
Speak for yourself, you dumbass. Why don't we go and get into the good stuff? The number one reason video games are even covered on the news in the first place. Say it with me, everyone. Grand Theft Auto. It's a tradition as old as time. A new GTA game comes out, and every ghoul and gremlin, every right-winger and grifter all rise from the depths of hell to give their thoughts on this infamous franchise. No, not that infamous franchise. There is no shortage of news reports on GTA whatsoever, and every single one of them talks about how it's putting America's children at risk of becoming murderers. An M-rated game children legally can't buy, that the parents buy for them. Yeah, that makes sense. But possibly the dumbest example is this CNN headlines report on Grand Theft Auto 4 starring Jack Thompson. All you need to know about Jack Thompson is to go on Wikipedia and click on the video game tab to find dozens of paragraphs of Jack suing video game publishers for all sorts of reasons. It just goes to show that if you think you're wasting your time playing video games, trust me, you don't know what wasting time really is. Anyway, back to the news report. He goes on this tangent about how our government used human silhouettes to condition soldiers to kill. Therefore, the same applies to digital humans in a video game.
The game, in case you don't know, and God bless you if you don't, features Nico. He is a low-level Eastern European thug.
No he's not. He's a war veteran coming to Liberty City looking for a traitor he encountered during the war.
In Grand Theft Auto, your son, or your husband, or your boyfriend, or whoever, can hire a prostitute, have sex with her, and then beat her to death with a baseball bat. When a police officer comes after him, he can either light that police officer on fire or cut him in half with a chainsaw. This is entertainment?
Well, that's just completely inaccurate, Jack. There's no chainsaw in GTA 4. And you certainly can't cut anybody in half with it. This is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It took 75 years and countless billions of dollars to train our soldiers to kill. Today, $60 buys your kid the same thing. Whatever happened to Pong?
You know, Jack, the more I listen to you, the more it sounds like you've barely researched your subjects and just generally don't know what the f*** you're talking about. Is that why you were disbarred from being a lawyer? Good God, can we at least get one person on the news who gets it?
The truth is, a lot of the people who detract from these games and are their most outspoken critics don't actually play them, and certainly aren't the target market. They don't seem to play up the fact or understand that it's humorous, that this is a fictionalized take on reality, that's the same sort of thing that you would see in a movie like Scarface or Carlito's Way, classic mobster films like Heat, or even The Godfather. You don't hear people talking about how terrible The Godfather is, and it's no different in terms of the bloodshed and level of violence.
Oh, finally! Somebody who understands what these games are all about. It only took 20-something years, but we got it. I salute you, good sir.
When all is said and done though, I know for a fact that these people will be spouting the same bullshit about Grand Theft Auto 6 when it comes out. And honestly, I can't wait for it.
You know something? Not all of these news reports on video games are trying to say that they're bad or push some sort of agenda. Sometimes they're just cringeworthy.
When I was a kid, back in the 1800s, video games were considered at best an amusing time waster. But if you're worried about giving your child video games as a holiday gift this year, check out this young man.
Okay, in this news report's defense, it's not awful or anything. It does its job fine enough talking about Nate Shot's success and the rising popularity of esports. There's just a few lines that make me cringe up my spine.
Meet 22-year-old Matt Hogg, a real-life gaming wizard, earning a cool $1 million a year, all for answering the Call of Duty.
And it's just shocking that it didn't take off back when we were kids because I was really good at Pong. Atari? What about
Really?
Frogger?
Space Invaders, Frogger. You're an ace.
But if you think that's bad, let's go back to 1991 when the Super Nintendo was just released in America. Nintendo is arguably the most family-friendly gaming company out there, so what could they possibly have to say about it here?
For those of you who follow the Super Mario series, you'll be glad to know Super Mario 4, called Super Mario World, is now on the shelves. But as Deborah Snell found out, you might not like what you hear when you go to buy the game.
That's the catch that may take many Nintendo maniacs by surprise. You have to buy a completely new hardware system to play the new Super Mario 4 game.
So let me get this straight. This is a news report about complaining that the new, more advanced system costs more than the old system and is required to play the new games.
I was going to get it, but I don't want to spend that much money.
He has a Game Boy, and now he has the Nintendo, and now he'd have to have another unit just for that one game. It doesn't seem right.
Arin, buddy, get up, buddy. We got a video to
No. You know, I would say that might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But the truth is, people to this day are still complaining that the new consoles are more expensive than the last. Like, I get it, PC Master Race, but if you're willing to spend $5,000 on a PC rig, I don't think you're one to talk about how expensive consoles are. Anyway, who said that?
Oh, I don't know how much more of this I could take. So why don't we end with what I think is the worst, yet also funniest news report I've ever seen on a video game. Mass Effect sex debate.
And it's a new role-playing video game that is leaving nothing to the imagination. Mass Effect is what it's called. It's made for Microsoft's Xbox system, and it features in some parts of this, you'll see full digital nudity. Imagine. And the ability for the players to engage in graphic sex, and the person who's playing the game gets to decide exactly what's going to happen between the two people, if you know what I mean.
The player gets to decide what happens during sex? Lady, it's just one cutscene, and there's not even any QuickTime events in it. This isn't the God of War sex minigame. What are you talking about?
Cooper, it sort of cracks me up whenever I hear a company say that, there's all these controls in there that you can monitor the time and you can, but basically Pandora's box is open.
Wow. As if misrepresenting the game wasn't enough, they're straight up recycling comparisons from their previous reports as well.
And that opens up Pandora's box.
We know that all the research shows that violence has a desensitizing effect. Well, sexuality does too.
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Lady, if you're gonna claim that a game is treating women like sex objects, it is not Mass Effect. I haven't even played Mass Effect, and I could tell you that. Games like Custer's Revenge on Atari or Leisure Suit Larry, you might have a better argument with. But Mass Effect? This is a series where characters can die in extremely gruesome ways, but having sex with an alien is where you draw the line? Okay, then.
All right, let's get Jeff in on this.
All right, that's
go ahead,
completely
Jeff.
Incorrect. Yeah, it's completely incorrect. First of all, you can actually play as a man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, we talk about, you know, sexuality in the media. One of the great things about Mass Effect, for people that have played it know this is a sort of a choose-your-own-adventure story, and it doesn't force you down any situation. You can actually play through this game without the sexual situation ever happening.
Right, and the young boys
game.
are going to be choosing not to have sex. That'll be what they'll choose. I mean,
no,
let's be
because
realistic
it's not
here.
a simple choice. But Cooper, it's not a simple choice. You don't turn to the game and says, "Would you like to have sex or not?" It's through the evolution of a relationship with characters, and the fact that this game has incredible artificial intelligence, and you can actually fall in love in this game, and it's just like modeling your life, and I think that's a much more powerful form of media.
Darlin, I got to go with the research, and the research says there's a new study out of University of Maryland right now that says that boys that play video games cannot tell the difference between what they're seeing in a video game in the real world if they don't have a real experience.
Honestly, I got nothing. Usually I'd have some sort of rebuttal, but this lady doesn't deserve one. She deserves to just sit there with her stupid comments.
And yes, I haven't played Mass Effect either, but the difference is I at least did 5 minutes of research. She's just spouting bullshit on air. So, she works for Fox News. Man, no wonder Renegade Shepard loves to punch reporters. If there's anything I want to leave you with here, it's this. Parents,
do your job! On second thought, I don't think that's enough. I swear, there's always so many news reports about how video games are violent, or putting your children in danger, or treating women like sex objects. Well, you know what? That changes today. I'm going to make a statement to the whole world and prove once and for all that there is absolutely nothing dangerous, illegal, or immoral whatsoever about video games as an artistic medium.
And that's where this all connects back to the Satanists. It's a conspiracy. These devil worshippers are putting chemicals in the water. And as well as our game stations that are turning our children into gay devil worshippers. The University of Florida just released a study that shows that 100% of all crimes committed in America are the cause of video games. Yeah, you heard me, video game. Shigeru Miyamoto is a goddamn demon. The same with Phil Spencer, the CEO of Xbox. Sorry, you know, everybody will say that I'm crazy, but make fun of me all you want. I don't give a damn. You hear me? I don't give a damn because I know the truth and you don't. So you better listen. Shigeru Miyamoto is a goddamn demon! If you care about your children, you will ban all video games in your household, and you will take them to church, and you will show them the ways of the Lord. And hey, back off! You back away! I have the right to. You just, all right, fuck you! Go away now! I don't care about you!
Take my card!
The plap.
Okay.
Here, let's try that again.
Yeah, I have to make sure that I don't like immediately like
No, that looked
flinch.
pretty good.
Okay.
Alright.
Take my card!
just the thump. No, that's great.
Let's do one more.
One more, yeah.
You know what? I'll put all of these like bloopers like at the end of the video.
Thank you for watching this video, and a massive thank you to my gold tier patrons on Patreon, including Ed and AnthonyM, the gamer artist. Thank you so much, both of you.